Hi, I'm Chuck Dorsett for Weaver Leather Supply, and this is the Leather Element. If you've got a good question for us or a good idea for a leather element, drop it in the comment box below. Also, if you want to know when our videos are released, just click your notifications. You'll know exactly when these come out. So how about some shop tricks? Just some simple tricks that are going to help us out in our shop. Let's start right here because this can be one of the most frustrating things to me in my shop. Right now, I can name every one of these pieces of leather, what leather they are, what color it is, and where they come from. Well, Weaver, that's an easy one. But 9 months, 12 months down the road, am I going to remember what color this is, what type of leather this is? So what I've had to start making myself do is every time I open up a box of leather, I'm going to write down exactly what that leather is. Because here's what happens. 9 months down the road, I pull out this leather, I find the perfect project for it. I need just a little bit more. And you know what? I don't know what color it is. I don't know what type of leather it is. And I guarantee you, if I guess I'm going to order the wrong thing, now I'm spending money for no good reason. So let's make sure we mark each and every piece of leather that comes through this shop, no matter how familiar we think we are with that piece. If we're going to drop in a basket weave or a geometric pattern, we can typically use what's called an anchor line. We scribe in a line and we stamp from there. Typically we'll overstamp that line, but a lot of times we're going to have a design where we can't use an anchor line or a guideline simply because we're going to see it. Let's take some of our pattern sheeting. Let's just make our pattern on this. Then we can punch holes. In fact, right there, I've got a mark for my spot and my mule's foot. Makes the whole thing very easy. And our designs are always symmetrical. A grid, one of the most helpful things in my shop when I want to do a geometric pattern, because now I don't have to guess where my center line is or how many stamps are going to work across in my design. But also with the pattern sheeting, we can use this again and again on multiple projects. In fact, right here, this is one of my favorite designs. We've got a basket weave buried down in there. So let's just take our time, and I'm so bad about making myself do that, but if we do that, it's going to be perfect every time. In fact, right there, there we go, there's my basket weave. I can tell I'm square. All I have to do is scribe in that bottom line. Everything else is going to fall into place, and we get a perfectly clean, symmetrical stamp design every time. I've started keeping all of my markers on a simple piece of lace on a nail right next to my workbench because I use these all the time, particularly with patterns. In fact, I'm going to use multiple colors for my patterns. I'm going to go with black for holes that we're going to punch, red for holes that we're going to mark, and if I need to line up a stitch line, I'm going to go with blue. They're a big help to me, and I really got tired of trying to track all of these down. But here's a funny point. The brown, I don't use this often, but it's one of the biggest helps. If you've ever dyed a piece of leather, and you've got a little naked spot where the dye didn't take your brown and just daub that in. This has fixed all kinds of problems for me. For us leather crafters, a lot of the projects we work on require a welt, particularly sheaths, scabbards, holsters, and usually these aren't a problem. The issue is when we need to make a hard turn. Like right here, we've done this in a video. I would prefer not to have two pieces come together because the end of those, they're always going to stick out. Well, we can actually cut our welt straight from a piece of leather. But to me, that's a lot of wasted leather. So right here, if we've got to make a hard turn, well, first off, we can always wet form our leather. Let's get that good and wet. Good, there we go. Now with that, we can actually make a pretty tight bend. We can work that around, but really too, we don't have to make sure it gets exactly to the shape we need because it's already bent when this dries and we glue it in, it's going to follow that design. But when we've got to really make a hard corner, let's do this. Let's cut what I call a sawtooth. So right here, let's say our bend's going to be right there. Now, typically my welts are 3/8 of an inch. So I'm going to come about 2/3 of the way across. There we go. Let's cut that out. Let's do about 5 of these, right on the heels of each other. Good, we've got those. Now let's come out to the other side. And one more. Okay, we've got that. So now we can really get a good tight bend on that. We can wet form it if we want to, but really it's not necessary. And when we glue this in, notice all of that is filled in. So when we sew that, we're not going to have any low points. Like I said, no monumental tricks or tips here, just little things in my shop that I notice help me out from time to time, and I hope they'll do the same for you. Thanks for taking time to watch The Leather Element. Good luck with your projects.